The BR Combat Sports team wishes everyone a Happy New Year, even though it's a little late. Fans of mixed martial arts, MMA, have a lot to cheer about in 2021, and it appears that 2022 has the potential to be even better. Just take a look at some of the fights that have already been scheduled for this year, like Conor Usman vs. Leon Edwards, Jon Jones vs. Stipe Miocic, Aljamain Sterling vs. Henry Cejudo, and so on. Welcome back to the MMA Club. We will talk all about the fights that must happen in 2022. The year 2021 was another amazing one for the UFC, as it was filled with some of the most memorable fights in the history of the sport. Nevertheless, despite this, there are still a great many fantasy bouts and trilogy bouts that fight fans are eager to witness. This would be fantastic for UFC betting, and it would be fascinating to watch what the odds on UFC fights would look like as a result. There are going to be a lot of wars inside the cage in the next year, ranging from fights over stylistic differences to battles over unfinished business and bad blood. Even though we already have some spectacular battles to look forward to in 2022, we are only getting started on fulfilling the majority of fans' wish lists for that year. Conor Usman, Jon Jones, and a long list of other notable champions are all prepared to make their return to the cage this year, making for a year that is ripe with matchup possibilities across the weight classes, from strawweight to heavyweight. By the time spring arrives, the MMA landscape will most likely look quite different. In this sport, things happen really quickly. The following is a list of fights that we are looking forward to seeing while the year is still young and the months that lie ahead still have a great deal of promise. The world's most popular mixed martial arts organization does an excellent job of satisfying its audience. Our almost weekly dose of high-quality boxing action is hard to ignore. But there is always more brutality to be had in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. The promotion has a few possible Fight of the Year contenders in these few title contests alone. So without any further ado, let's get into the video right away. Here are the 5 UFC title fights that must happen in 2022. First, Conor Usman vs. Leon Edwards. Due to the fact that the UFC is now waiting for Conor Usman to recuperate from hand surgery, the likelihood of this fight actually taking place has increased. Nevertheless, this does not preclude the possibility of us including it, particularly when considering the high caliber of both of these persons. Although the Nigerian Nightmare is the champion in terms of total weight, Leon Edwards is no laughing matter. It wouldn't take much for Rocky to win the belt if he brought his A game and maintained his focus, especially if Usman wasn't at the top of his game. Second, Juliana Pino or Amanda Nunes versus Valentina Shevchenko. Valentina Shevchenko has sliced through the flyweight category like a hot knife through butter, and despite the fact that Taila Santos will be a formidable opponent for her, Bullet is still the prohibitive favorite to win the fight. The equation, however, changes very slightly when we move up to the bantamweight class. A rematch against Juliana Pino would be equally as interesting as a trilogy confrontation with Amanda Nunes, which is what we'd almost like to see. But a trilogy fight with Amanda Nunes is what we'd almost like to see. Third, Jon Jones vs. Stipe Miocic. It's not very often that we all get excited about the prospect of an interim championship battle, but just take a look at the 2 names that are headlining this card. Stipe Miocic is widely regarded as the best heavyweight the UFC has ever seen, while Jon Jones has hinted about making the jump up to the heavyweight division for years. The combination of these 2 factors ensures that this fight will be an absolute barn burner, with the winner earning the best possible reward, or the worst possible punishment, a rematch with Francis Ngannou for the undisputed crown the following year. Fourth, Aljamain Sterling vs. Henry Cejudo. When they met for the second time earlier, Aljamain Sterling was able to narrowly defeat Petr Yan and defy the odds in a significant way by doing so. Even if TJ Dillashaw has a good chance of being the next man in line for a crack at the title, the prospect of the return of Triple C sounds like it will be a lot more exciting. Even though Henry Cejudo's cringe persona isn't to everyone's liking, it's tough to assume that the build-up to this fight would be dull because he is a former UFC champion who won at 2 different weight classes. Fifth, Charles Oliveira vs. Islam Makhachev. Despite the fact that Charles Oliveira is no longer recognized as the UFC lightweight champion, mixed martial arts, MMA, fans all over the world continue to believe that he is the most accomplished fighter at 155 pounds now competing anywhere in the world. Do Bronx requires a top opponent to face up against, and he'll confront Islam Makhachev if they need. To get out from under Khabib's shadow, here's a matchup that can benefit the man who's been labeled the next copy. So, this was all about this video. I hope you liked the information given in the video. If you have anything in your mind, feel free to comment below. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to get more videos like this. Also, hit the bell icon to get the notification of the latest updates in the channel. Thanks for watching.